Alright, um, today on Bloody Brains Out Reviews, we're going to be doing God's Bloody Acre, and also Tomcats, brought to you by Code Red Releasing. This was released a few months back, and there was a problem, there's a copyright problem with something. I talked to a friend of mine who loves the movie, is a big fan, and he just said it had to do with some sort of pre-credit sequence or pre-credit something. I'm not sure, but it quickly went out of print, got pulled, and they re-released it without the problem. Pretty much you got exploitation going on. I don't know if they're supposed to be three brothers or two brothers and a father. The guy that plays Monroe, who's William Kerwin, who's also in Blood Feast, and he's also in Tomcats as well. He definitely, if he's not their father, he definitely plays a father figure. They are three dudes that live out in the woods in Florida, and they're hearing noises. They keep hearing these noises, and one day they go to check it out. Come to find out that their land that they're living on is being developed, and it's going to be campgrounds. And I guess they've had to move. This has happened to them before. They've had to move a couple times, and this time they decide to fight back. They go and they start throwing rocks at the construction crew. An accident happens. Guy gets cut in half by a bulldozer. And, you know, after that, they pretty much will do anything to defend their land. They've already passed the biggest taboo, which is murder. So, a lot of other people all of a sudden sort of kind of by just chance, circumstance, end up near or around their home. You've got a couple that's on sort of a vacation. They start camping there. There is a girl that comes in contact with a guy who's been robbed and is hurt, and they end up kind of out in the woods there. And you know, it ends up a fight for their land, and these people encroaching on their privacy. So they will get them out at any means necessary. The film is certainly flawed. It's very low budget, and there's definitely a sort of a ecological message here. You know, there's a lot of talk about, you know, why do people cut down the trees? You know, one of the brothers is sort of mentally not there. You know, why do they cut down the trees? I don't know, son. I don't know. So there's certainly that sort of public service announcement aspect to it. But I found it to be a bit lengthy in its setup. You know, you kind of, when you're first watching it, you kind of are led to believe that it's going to kind of be a fight between the construction workers and these three backwoods people, and it becomes, you know, slowly these other characters are introduced, and you're not really sure why. I mean, obviously, you figure they're going to be, you know, around. And a lot of the time, most of the movie is sort of setting up their characters, and most of the action doesn't really start until about the last 20 minutes. So it can get a bit, you know, come on, let's get this thing going. It's not a terrible film, but it's certainly not great. The acting's not bad. It's a little lengthy, and well, not lengthy. It's lengthy in the character development. These people are going to be fodder for these guys, so we don't need to know their entire backstory. Um, but all in all, not terrible. Another interesting thing, there's Night of the Living Dead music in it. It took me a little while to remember, but I kept hearing this music over and over and over when, you know, the intense sequence was more happening, I guess you could say. And it finally came to me. It was from Night of the Living Dead. I guess since that was public domain, they could use it. Also on the disc is Tomcats. Now this one I actually enjoyed more. It's made by the same people. Um, Wayne Crawford, who plays who does he play in God's Bloody Acre? He plays somebody. He plays the guy on the motorcycle that breaks down, that gets robbed. But the same guy's made Tomcats. Basically, four psychopaths sort of go on sort of a rape and robbery rampage, and they kill a law student sister who's played by Chris Mulkey. And it's, you know, sort of a, you know, revenge story. They are, you know, caught after they already raped and almost killed another girl and left her for dead. They're caught and let go. So he decides to take matters into his own hands and hunt down and kill these guys. It's definitely got a very there are times when it's got a very unsettling, sort of mean-spirited feeling to it. And I just enjoyed it better than God's Bloody Acre. It seems a bit more, seems like these guys got a little bit more experience by this point, and they tightened up a lot of things that weren't as tight in God's Bloody Acre. Acting was better, script was better. Acting's not terrible in God's Bloody Acre, but it seemed to be better in this one. And certainly more violent. Like I said, there's some scenes in here that, you know, are up there with scenes of the time. These were all, you know, drive-in exploitation pictures. So, but yeah, basically pretty much your typical Death Wish sort of thing. Kind of goes on a revenge rampage. So there's no features for the Tomcats, but on God's Bloody Acre you have a interview with Wayne Crawford, which was actually done, I guess, via printed questions. He has questions from Code Red that he's reading from, and he answers them there. And an on-camera interview with producer, writer Andrew Wayne, along with some other Code Red trailers. Neither of the movies looks all that great. They're both pretty damaged looking, but that all just adds to the drive-in feel of them. So there you have it. God's Bloody Acre and Tomcats from Code Red Releasing. We'll see you next time.